Now, with me now is Republican presidential candidate and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who just wrapped up a town hall in Edgewood, Iowa, moments ago. Governor, thank you for joining me. Let's start off with something positive here. First, Happy New Year. But your stand against Disney for wokeism sort of started the beginning of the end for a lot of companies focusing on imposing certain values on customers. We saw the culmination of that with Bud Light. Were you concerned that that stand could have backfired?
Ultimately, it was about standing up for kids. It's just inappropriate. And I'm a dad of young kids, first grader, kindergartner, and pre-K3. To be injecting things like sexuality and transgenderism into elementary school curriculum is just unacceptable. And so we took a very clear stand on that. Parents supported us. And, you know, it was interesting because my election, the Disney employees, by and large, backed us in Central Florida. I won those areas. I did much better than most Republicans. And so I think people are sick of having agenda shoved down their throat. I think there's also the business issue of you have a fiduciary obligation to your shareholders. Is trying to get involved in these issues, is that honoring that fiduciary obligation, or is it violating? And so I think this whole thing of things like ESG and all the things that have happened in the corporate world over the last few years ultimately is a dead end. We took action in Florida against ESG. We banned the use of it in our pension funds. We're solely focused on return on investment. And I think what we were able to do across the board has been the right thing to do. We want American business just focused on doing what they do best and not trying to change policy in this country.
Yeah, Governor, I want to get into Iowa now. You have a large door-to-door network. What's the message you're trying to pull off to upset former President Trump?
Well, I'm the guy that can get this done, just like we did in Florida, winning a big victory, but even more importantly, delivering on 100% of my promises. We need somebody, a president that's going to fight, and a lot of Republicans haven't even been willing to do that. But we need a president that's going to win these big fights. And I've beat the left on issue after issue. And we need somebody that's going to be able to lead this country into a different direction, make sure that compass is set to true north, and get the job done. And I've been more effective down here in Florida than just about anybody in the country in modern memory. And you're talking about the economy in Florida. I've paid down 25% of our debt since I've been governor. We have #1 for new business formation, and our economy is ranked #1 of all 50 states by CNBC. So we're showing how it's done on the economic and fiscal front. And if Washington did even half as good as Florida's done, we'd be in a much better spot nationally.
So the latest Fox Business poll, though, shows among Iowa caucus goers, you still are at 18%. That's 2 points ahead of Nikki Haley, but 34 points behind former President Donald Trump. Can you really make that up?
Well, I think if you look historically, the polling has not accurately predicted a caucus result because it's just a different beast. It's not a typical election. You're going there for 3 hours. People give speeches. It's a process. So what we've done is we've worked really hard to sign up tens of thousands of Iowans, and we add more every day, and we're accelerating the number of people who are committed to turning out for us and bringing a friend, bringing a neighbor. That's how you do well here. And so we've done it the right way, and I think you're going to see that on caucus night. So we're excited about what the direction we're going, and we're going to be working hard all the way through caucus night.
I want to get your reaction to the Maine Secretary of State pulling former President Donald Trump off the ballot there.
Well, obviously, to have one executive branch official unilaterally striking someone off the ballot is not an appropriate interpretation of the 14th Amendment. We could have in Florida, what, are we going to have Biden struck off the ballot because he's allowed an invasion of 8 million people, including enemy nations have sent people in? This could just end up being a tit for tat. So I think it'll get reversed by the U.S. Supreme Court. I think it's more of a stunt that you have a very liberal person in that position who's just trying to play for cheap clicks. But ultimately, I don't think it's grounded in a proper interpretation of the Constitution.
So Nikki Haley in recent days clarified what some call a gaffe, omitting slavery, when answering what caused the Civil War. What do you think about her clarification on that?
It was an incomprehensible word salad, and then she continues to really not make a lot of sense in what she's saying. And I think it's just an indication, she's been very much fluffed by the media for the last 6 to 8 weeks. Let's see how she does when she actually faces scrutiny. And I think when she gets off her talking points, I think she has a much more difficult task at that point. And part of it is when you get into these races and you're an elected official, what is your core foundation? And with me, my core foundation are the enduring principles that have made this country unique, our constitutional system, and that's just in my DNA as a candidate, as a governor, and will be as a president. I think for her, I don't think she has those core convictions. I think she's trying to tell people what she thinks they may want to hear in the moment, rather than just say what the truth is. And you even hear this in some of her explanations now, where she's saying that she's talking about her truth. No. It's not your truth or my truth. It's the truth. And we need to be grounded in the truth. We got to throw this postmodernism out the window.
Yeah, Governor, you're still 2 points ahead of her. Her message resonates with some folks. If you don't finish second in Iowa, there's going to be pressure for you to bow out of the race. Would you do that?
Oh, we're gonna take Iowa. I'm not worried about that. We're in this for the long haul. You're talking about you need 1,400 delegates. There's a lot of real estate here, and we're built for the long haul, and that's what we're going to
do. So should Governor Christie then or Vivek Ramaswamy drop out now that you believe?
That's up to them. I mean, they can do what they want. I can tell you I'm running to win. That's the only reason why I'm running. I know Nikki Haley will not rule out being vice president because, she spends a lot of money attacking me. So is she trying to defeat former President Trump, or is she trying to be his vice president? She will not rule that out. But, she's gotten a lot of support from these Never Trumpers. They're viewing her as like the darling of Never Trump, yet she's positioning herself to potentially be in the running for that. I've categorically ruled out being VP. I think she should do that so her supporters know where she stands.
Governor DeSantis, I know you have something to go to. I appreciate your time on this. Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So